There's something you've been feeling lately, and you can't explain it. Like your heart is trying to prepare for something. Like something is about to enter your life, and everything is about to change. You try to ignore it. You distract yourself, but it keeps coming back, quietly, again and again. And the strange part is, it doesn't feel random. It feels written. Pause. Because, what if I told you, this feeling is not just in your mind? Allah may already be preparing your heart for someone who has been written for you long before this moment. But listen carefully. This is where most people make a mistake. They feel something deep, and they rush to give that feeling to the wrong person. They attach too quickly. They force something too early. And without realizing, they walk away from what Allah actually wrote for them. So, before that person enters your life, there are truths you need to understand. Because this is not just about love. This is about timing. This is about trust. And this is about how easily the heart can be misled when it forgets Allah. What Allah has written for you can never be taken away. You keep worrying. What if you lose them? What if you miss your chance? What if something goes wrong before it even begins? Your heart starts racing. Your mind keeps thinking, what if this doesn't work out? What if I do something wrong? What if I lose something that feels so right? And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to hold on too tightly to something that hasn't even fully entered your life yet. Pause. Why does this happen? Because your heart is trying to secure something that only Allah controls. And that's where the pain begins. Because the tighter you hold, the more afraid you become. But listen carefully. There is a truth so powerful. If it settles inside your heart, it will remove half of your anxiety instantly. What Allah has written for you can never be taken away from you. Not by distance, not by people, not by mistakes, not even by your own fears. If it is truly written for you, it will find its way to you, even if everything around you looks like it's falling apart. And if something leaves your life, no matter how perfect it felt, no matter how much you wanted it, then it was never written to stay. And this is where most people break, because they think, I lost something meant for me. But the truth is, you didn't lose it. Allah removed it because it was never yours. But your heart doesn't understand this immediately, so it starts blaming you. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I ruined it. Maybe if I tried harder. And this is how Shaitan traps you, not just in sadness, but in guilt, when in reality, what is written for you does not slip away because you made a mistake. Allah is not that fragile, and your rizq is not that weak. If something is truly yours, even your mistakes will not stop it from reaching you. And if something is not yours, even your perfection will not make it stay. Let that sink in, because this changes everything. You stop chasing, you stop forcing, you stop trying to control outcomes that were never in your hands. Instead, you start trusting, you start breathing again, you start living without that constant fear in your chest. Because now you understand, you are not responsible for holding things together. Allah is. Your responsibility is not to control who stays. Your responsibility is to protect your heart, your faith, and your trust in Allah. So, instead of holding on tightly, learn to let go internally, not in a careless way, but in a peaceful way, a way where you say, Ya Allah, if this is written for me, bring it to me in the best way. And if it is not, remove it from my heart and replace it with something better. Because what is truly yours does not need your anxiety, does not need your overthinking, does not need your fear. It only needs one thing, your trust in Allah. Not every heart you connect with is meant to stay in your life. There are some people who enter your life, and everything feels different. The connection feels easy, natural, almost too perfect. Conversations flow without effort. You feel understood, seen, comfortable, in a way you didn't expect. And your heart quietly says, this is it. This must be the one. But pause. Not every connection is meant to stay. Some people are not sent to be part of your future. They are sent to change something inside you. And this is where most hearts get confused. because we think, if it feels this real, it must be forever. But feelings are not always a sign of destiny. Sometimes they are a sign of a lesson. Allah allows certain people to touch your heart, not to keep them, but to reveal something within you. Maybe they showed you how deeply you can feel. Maybe they exposed how quickly you attach. Maybe they uncovered a part of you that needed healing. And sometimes they come into your life to break an illusion you were living in, an illusion that your happiness depends on someone else, an illusion that love from creation can fill what only Allah can fill. And when they leave, it doesn't just hurt because they're gone. It hurts because of what they awakened inside you, the memories, the attachment, the version of life you started imagining with them. All of it suddenly disappears, and your heart struggles to understand. Why would Allah let me feel something so real if it was never meant to stay? But here is the deeper truth. Not everything that feels real is meant to remain. Some people are written in your story, but only for a few pages. Not because they were unimportant, but because their role was temporary. They were there to teach, to awaken, to redirect you, not to stay forever. And if you try to force them to stay, you don't just lose them, you lose your peace. Because anything that is not written for you will always feel heavy when you try to hold on to it. You will overthink, you will chase clarity, you will try harder and harder, but it will never feel stable. Because your heart is trying to build permanence on something Allah wrote as temporary, and that will always hurt. So understand this gently. Just because someone touched your heart doesn't mean they were meant to stay in your life. And just because something ended doesn't mean it was a mistake. Sometimes it ended exactly where it was supposed to. So instead of asking, why did they leave? Ask yourself, what was Allah trying to show me through them? Because once you understand the lesson, the attachment begins to loosen, the confusion begins to clear, and your heart slowly returns, not to them, but back to Allah. And that is where true peace begins. Before they arrive, Allah is quietly preparing you. Right now, it may feel like nothing is happening. Your life feels slow, quiet, almost stuck. You look around, and it seems like others are moving forward, finding love, building something, while you are still waiting. And deep inside, a question keeps rising. Ya Allah, when is my turn? Pause it, because what you see as waiting is actually preparation. Allah is not ignoring you. Allah is not delaying you without reason. Allah is working on you quietly, deeply, in ways you cannot see. Every heartbreak you went through, every disappointment that didn't make sense, every time something ended, even when you wanted it to stay, it was not random. It was shaping you, softening parts of your heart that needed softness, breaking parts of your ego that needed to fall, teaching you lessons you could not learn any other way. Because the person who is written for you is not just about them. It is about who you become before they arrive. Think about this. If they came into your life earlier, would you have been ready for them? Or would you have loved them with insecurity, with attachment, with fear of losing them? Would you have depended on them instead of depending on Allah? Would you have held on to them so tightly that you lost yourself in the process? This is why Allah delays, not to deny you, but to prepare you, because a beautiful connection in an unprepared heart turns into pain. And Allah does not want to give you something beautiful, only for you to ruin it because you weren't ready. So He prepares you first. He teaches you patience. He teaches you detachment. He teaches you how to stand on your own. He teaches you how to find peace without depending on anyone. So when that person finally comes, you don't meet them with emptiness. You meet them with wholeness. And there is a big difference, because when you are empty, you seek someone to complete you. But when you are whole, you seek someone to walk with you. And that changes everything. Now your love is not based on fear. It is based on stability. Now your connection is not based on need. It is based on understanding. Now your heart is not desperate. It is at peace. And that is the kind of heart that can hold something real without losing it. So if you feel like your life is quiet right now, don't rush to fill that silence, because Allah is doing something in that silence. He is aligning your heart, correcting your intentions, removing what would have distracted you, and building a version of you that is ready. Ready to receive, ready to recognize, ready to protect what is written for you. And one day, when that person finally enters your life, you will look back at this time, this waiting, this confusion, this silence, and you will realize nothing was wasted. Allah was preparing you for something you could not handle before, and that is why it took time. What is written by Allah brings peace, not emotional chaos. There is something very important you need to learn, because it will save your heart from a lot of unnecessary pain. Not everything that feels strong is right for you. Not everything that gives you butterflies is written for you. And not everything that feels intense is meant to stay in your life. Because what is written by Allah does not come with constant confusion, emotional instability, and inner chaos. It comes with peace. Maybe not perfect conditions, maybe not a smooth journey, but inside your heart, there is a quiet calm that doesn't disappear every time something small goes wrong. When something is truly from Allah, you don't feel like you're fighting to hold it together every single day. You don't wake up overthinking everything they said, analyzing every message, questioning where you stand, wondering if you're enough, wondering if they will stay. That constant mental noise, that emotional up and down, that anxiety that keeps you restless, is not a sign of something written. It is a sign of something unstable. And many people confuse this instability with love. They think, if I feel this much, it must be real. But real does not mean chaotic. Real does not destroy your peace. Real does not make you lose yourself just to keep someone else. What is written by Allah carries a different feeling. Even when there are difficulties, even when things are not fully clear yet, there is still a sense of grounding inside you. You feel like you don't have to force anything. You don't feel like you're constantly chasing clarity. You don't feel like you have to become someone else just to be accepted. You feel like you can breathe. And that feeling is a sign, because Allah does not send something into your life that pulls you away from your own peace. He does not give you something that makes your heart constantly anxious, confused, and exhausted. Allah gives with wisdom, not with chaos. But when something is not written for you, it starts to show in your emotions. You feel uncertain more than you feel secure. You feel anxious more than you feel calm. You feel like you're always trying to fix something, hold something together, prove your worth, earn your place, and slowly, your peace starts slipping away. And the more you hold on to it, the heavier it becomes, because your heart knows something your mind is refusing to accept, that this is not stable, that this is not what Allah intended to stay. And the longer you ignore that feeling, the more tired your heart becomes. So, understand this deeply. Anything that costs you your inner peace is not a blessing you are meant to hold on to, because what comes from Allah does not destroy you to stay with you. It doesn't require you to lose yourself to keep it. It doesn't pull you into constant confusion just to feel connected. It brings you back to yourself. It makes your heart feel settled, not shaken. It makes your mind feel quiet, not loud. It makes your soul feel safe, not restless. And this is how you start recognizing what is truly written for you, not by how intense it feels, but by how peaceful it allows you to remain. Because in the end, what is truly from Allah will not just touch your heart, it will protect your peace while staying in it. You are not being delayed. You are being perfectly positioned. Right now, it may feel like your life is on pause. You see people around you moving forward, finding someone, getting married, building something meaningful, while you are still standing in the same place, waiting, wondering, questioning, and slowly, a quiet thought begins to grow inside you. Why is my time not coming? Ya Allah, what am I missing? Am I being left behind? Pausa, because what feels like delay is not delay at all. It is positioning. Allah is not holding you back. He is placing you exactly where you need to be before what is written for you arrives. And this part is not easy because positioning feels like nothing is happening. There is no visible progress, no clear signs, no immediate answers, just silence and waiting. But behind that silence, everything is moving. Allah is rearranging your life in ways you cannot see. He is removing people who would have damaged what is coming. He is closing doors that would have distracted you. He is protecting you from choices you would have made out of emotion, not wisdom. Because if it came when you wanted it, you might have accepted something less, something temporary, something that feels good, but does not last. And that is not what Allah wants for you. Allah does not rush what He plans to make meaningful. He takes His time because what He is writing for you is not just about a moment. It is about your future. It is about something that will stay, not something that will break. And that requires perfect timing. Not your timing, not people's timing, but Allah's timing. And His timing is never random. It is precise. If it comes too early, you are not ready. If it comes too late, you may not value it the same. So Allah places it exactly where it belongs. In the moment where your heart has learned enough, your mind has matured enough, and your soul has become stable enough to receive it. And this is what you don't see while you're waiting. You don't see how much you are changing. You don't see how much stronger you are becoming. You don't see how your standards are rising, how your understanding is deepening, how your connection with Allah is growing. But all of this is part of positioning, because the person written for you is not meant to enter a version of you that is still confused, still dependent, still searching for completion in others. They are meant to meet you when you are grounded, aware, and connected to Allah, so that your relationship is not built on need, but built on balance. So if you feel like your life is slow right now, don't rush to escape it, because rushing leads you into what is not written, and patience keeps you aligned with what is. Tell yourself this gently: I am not being delayed. I am being placed exactly where I need to be. And trust that Allah is doing more for you in this quiet phase than you could ever do for yourself in action. Because when the time comes, you won't have to chase it. You won't have to force it. You won't have to question it. It will come to you at the right time, in the right way, with the right feeling, because you were not waiting for it. You were being prepared and perfectly positioned for it. The one written for you will bring you closer to Allah, not away. There is one truth that protects your heart more than anything else, and many people ignore it until it is too late. Not every person who makes you feel something strong is good for your soul. Not every connection that feels deep is right for your deen, and not every love you experience is a blessing from Allah. Because the one who is truly written for you will never take you away from Allah. They will not make you forget your salah. They will not make you delay your ibadah. They will not slowly pull your heart toward them in a way that replaces your connection with your Lord. Instead, they will do the opposite. Without even trying too hard, they will remind you of Allah. Their presence will calm you, not distract you. Their words will guide you, not confuse you. Their influence will protect your faith, not weaken it. And this is how you recognize what is real and what is just a test. Because anything that becomes bigger than your relationship with Allah is already a danger, no matter how beautiful it looks on the outside. Many people fall into this trap. They meet someone, they feel something powerful, and slowly, without realizing, their priorities begin to shift. They start thinking about that person more than they think about Allah. They start adjusting their values, compromising small things, just to keep that connection alive. They begin to justify what they know is not right, because their heart is attached. And this is how a test disguises itself as love. It feels good, it feels meaningful, it feels special, but it slowly pulls you away from the one who created your heart. And anything that pulls you away from Allah cannot be a true blessing, no matter how strong the feeling is, because a real blessing does not cost you your akhirah. The one written for you will not ask you to lower your standards. They will not make you question your values. They will not bring chaos into your faith. They will align with it. You will feel more grounded in your deen, not more distant. You will feel more aware of Allah, not more lost in your emotions. You will find yourself wanting to become better, not just for them, but for Allah. And that is a powerful sign, because what is written for you will not just complete your dunya, it will protect your akhirah. And this is the difference between something that looks good and something that is truly good. One feeds your emotions, but weakens your soul. The other nourishes your soul and naturally settles your emotions. So if you ever feel like someone is pulling you away from your salah, making you careless with your deen, making you compromise what you know is right, pause immediately. Because no matter how strong that connection feels, it is not leading you where you need to go. And love that takes you away from Allah will never give you real peace, no matter how long it stays. But when the right person comes, you will notice something different. You won't feel torn between them and Allah. You won't feel like you have to choose, because they will never compete with your relationship with Allah. They will strengthen it. And that is how you know. This is not just a feeling. This is something written with wisdom and protected with purpose. Allah places the feeling first, before the person even appears. There are moments when something shifts inside you and you don't fully understand why. Nothing has changed on the outside. Your life looks the same. Your routine is the same. The people around you are the same. But inside your heart, something feels different. A quiet expectation, a strange awareness, a feeling that something is about to enter your life, even though you don't know what it is or who it is. And you start asking yourself, why do I feel like this? Why does my heart feel like it's waiting for something I can't even see? I pause because this feeling is not always random. Sometimes Allah places a feeling in your heart before the person even appears in your life, not to confuse you, but to prepare you. Because if the person came suddenly, without your heart being ready, you might not recognize them, or you might handle it in the wrong way. So Allah begins from within. He softens your heart. He opens your emotional awareness. He creates space inside you for something new to enter. And this is where many people make a mistake. They feel something deep, something real, something unfamiliar, and immediately they attach that feeling to a specific person. They start thinking, it must be them. This feeling is because of this person. And without realizing, they place their heart in the wrong direction. But understand this carefully. The feeling may be real, but the person you are attaching it to might not be, because the feeling was never meant to point towards someone you already know. It was meant to prepare you for someone Allah has not yet brought into your life. And when you attach it too early, you risk giving your heart to the wrong place. You risk building expectations on something that was never written, and that leads to confusion, disappointment, and emotional pain that could have been avoided. So instead of rushing to define the feeling, learn to sit with it. Let it exist without forcing it into a name or a face. Trust that if Allah placed something in your heart, He will also guide it to where it belongs. Because Allah does not create feelings without purpose. There is always wisdom behind what you feel, even if you don't understand it yet. Maybe He is preparing you to love in a healthier way. Maybe He is removing your old patterns, your old attachments, your old expectations. Maybe He is teaching your heart to slow down, to observe, to not rush into what feels good, so that when the right person appears, you don't react blindly. You recognize with clarity. You move with calmness. You choose with awareness. And that changes everything. Because now, your heart is not desperate. It is ready. And there is a big difference between the two. A desperate heart attaches quickly ignores signs, and holds on tightly out of fear. But a prepared heart observes, understands, and trusts the process. So, if you feel something inside you right now, something you cannot explain, don't rush to label it. Don't rush to give it away. Don't rush to turn it into a story that may not be true. Instead, hold it gently, protect it, and trust Allah. Because if that feeling was placed by Him, then the person it belongs to will arrive at the right time, in the right way. And when that moment comes, you won't feel confused anymore. You will feel aligned, because what was once just a feeling will finally meet its reality. When they finally arrive, you'll understand why it took so long. There will come a moment when everything shifts, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, deeply, in a way your heart instantly recognizes. The person will enter your life, and something will feel different. Not overwhelming in a chaotic way, not confusing, not unstable, but calm, clear, and grounded. And that is when you will realize this feels right, in a way nothing else ever did. Not because it is perfect, but because it doesn't disturb your peace to exist. And in that moment, something powerful will happen inside you. You will look back at every delay, every heartbreak, every time something almost worked, but didn't. And for the first time, it will all start making sense. You will begin to understand why that person had to leave, why that connection didn't stay, why the timing never aligned before. Because if any of those things had remained, you would never be here, in this moment, with this clarity. You would have settled for less. You would have accepted confusion as love. You would have stayed in something that slowly drained your peace. But Allah did not allow that. Even when it hurts you, even when you didn't understand, even when you questioned everything, He was protecting you, protecting your heart, protecting your future, protecting you from something that looked right, but was not right for you. And now, when the right person finally arrives, you don't feel desperate. You don't feel like you have to chase or prove or hold on tightly, because something inside you is already at peace. You have grown, you have learned, you have changed. You are no longer the same person who would have accepted anything just to not feel alone. And that is why this time feels different. Because now, you are not choosing from loneliness. You are choosing from clarity. And this is where the beauty of Allah's timing becomes visible. You realize it was never about making you wait. It was about making you ready. Ready to recognize what is real. Ready to protect your peace. Ready to receive something without losing yourself in it. And this is why it took time. Because what Allah writes with meaning is never rushed. He does not give you something valuable before you are able to carry it. He does not place something lasting in your life while you are still attached to what was temporary. He prepares, then He gives. And when He gives, it fits, not just in your life, but in your heart, your mind, your soul, your deen. And suddenly, you feel a kind of relief you cannot explain. Not the excitement of, finally, I have someone, but the peace of, this was worth the wait. And in that moment, you will stop questioning the past. You will stop regretting what didn't work. You will stop asking, why me? Because now you understand. Nothing was late. Nothing was missed. Nothing was wrong. Everything was written exactly as it needed to be. So that when this finally arrives, it doesn't just enter your life. It stays with peace, with purpose, and with barakah. So if your heart feels like something is coming, don't rush it. Don't try to force it into your timeline. Don't attach yourself to the first feeling. Don't let your emotions decide what only Allah controls. Instead, slow down, breathe, and return your heart back to Allah. Because the one written for you is not something you need to chase. It is something Allah will bring at the exact moment your heart is ready and your life is aligned. And until that moment comes, protect your peace, guard your heart, and trust that nothing meant for you can ever pass you by. Make this your quiet dua. Ya Allah, if this feeling is from you, guide it to what is right. And if what is written for me is still on its way, prepare my heart for it and bring it to me with peace. Because when it finally arrives, you won't feel confused. You won't feel lost. You won't feel like you have to fight for it. You will feel calm. You will feel safe. You will feel at peace in a way that makes you realize Allah was never making you wait to hurt you. He was making you wait to give you something that truly stays. So trust Him, even in the silence, even in the waiting, even when your heart doesn't understand yet, because what Allah has written for you is already on its way.